Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome in. It's here, right? The NFL draft is finally here. It's tonight, just a couple hours away. All of our questions will be answered in due time. I cannot wait for it. By the way, I'm actually going to be live streaming tonight for the draft with UCF Jaguars. Should be a lot of fun. I cannot wait for it. Okay, so in this one, we have two mock drafts, not just one, but two. Why two? Because we don't know what's happening with Deebo Samuel. So I wanted to do one mock draft where the Jets keep all of their picks. Deebo remains a 49er. He gets dealt to Green Bay or Philly. He winds up elsewhere. And then I wanted to do another mock draft structured around acquiring Deebo Samuel. So obviously, we would trade away a couple picks, in this year's class. So before we jump in, I did want to take a quick second just to say thank you. This offseason has been absolutely crazy, right? Really, even the regular season as well, just ups and downs and everything like that. And the support that you've shown the channel is it's unbelievable. It truly is. I'm incredibly grateful, and I'm just so glad that the draft is tonight and we could all experience it together, right? So many years of losing seasons and picking, in the bottom section of the NFL draft. It's been tough, right? I feel like it's been so long since the Jets have really stacked winning seasons back to back and put together a great program. But I feel really confident, really good about the current players that we have, right? The core in place, and of course the newcomers that will be wearing green and white next season. So again, I just wanted to say thank you. Let's hop into these mocks. Okay, so the first mock that we're going to be taking a look at here is the one that doesn't include Deebo Samuel. So no trading up, no trading down. All of our picks are going to be remaining the same. With the 4th overall pick here, I'm going Kayvon Thibodeaux, edge rusher from Oregon. Okay, I look at Kayvon, the upside, the versatility, the 3 straight years of production. Tons of Jets fans love him. I know he's not for everybody. I know there's some fans out there that might not agree with Kayvon, and don't worry, Kayvon won't be the pick in the next mock draft, but in this one, I got to go with an edge. I look at how important the edge position is for this Robert Saleh 4-3 defense, and I look at the current depth chart. Carl Lawson, he's coming back, fantastic. That is awesome. That will definitely help this room, but he didn't play a single snap last year. Will he look like the same player? Will he carry that same explosiveness over to the 2022 season? We don't know. Hopefully, but we don't know right now. Could he get hurt again? He dealt with injuries back in Cincinnati. On the other side of the D-line, we have Vinny Curry and Jacob Martin, two nice depth pieces, but I really feel like the Jets lack that top end, that top level edge rusher that's quite frankly needed in this style of system. Kayvon Thibodeaux has the potential to be that at the NFL level. Another reason why I feel like maybe edge should be favored with the 4th overall pick. Where else are you going to get one? Free agency is pretty much over. Von Miller's off the board. Chandler Jones is off the board. You can't really trade for a dominant one at this point in time unless Danielle Hunter becomes available, but I feel like that ship has sailed. I mean, edge rushers, they don't grow on trees, right? TJ Watts, Myles Garrett, these guys don't become available. The Jets have an opportunity in a pretty deep edge class to land one of the top level ones with the 4th overall pick. I say pull the trigger. Next up at pick number 10, I'm going with my guy at wide receiver, Garrett Wilson from Ohio State. Let's get a wide receiver that could line up all over the place and who could hurt defenses in the short, intermediate, and deep parts of the passing game. Okay, this is a versatile player who's extremely explosive. He creates separation. He could win by himself. He doesn't need to be schemed open or anything like that. He is only 6 feet, but he plays a lot bigger than what his size suggests. His vert is crazy, strong hands, tough to bring down, elusive in open space. Think about this. Elijah Moore and Garrett Wilson running mesh routes underneath, and Zach Wilson taking 3 steps and just quickly pitching the ball out. I mean, who do you stop? Who do you guard on that? Moore or Wilson? Pick your poison. The other one's going to burn you, okay? It is tough. It is really tough. Also, you could put him in pre-snap motion, send him on end arounds, right? Throw a quick little screen out to him, watch him work. He could burn a defense for 40, 50 yards, or you could just line him up on the outside. There's a chance that he could win press coverage and just blow right by the corner, and then with Zach Wilson's arm, just hit him in stride 50 yards down the field, okay? Garrett Wilson has that speed. I love Jameson Williams. I really like London. I also love Chris Olave. Olave, 10 might be a little high for Olave, but I think for me, Garrett Wilson is my favorite wide receiver in the class. Although I will say, I would not be, I would not be mad with any of these top level wide receivers at 10. Next up, pick number 35 here, interior defensive lineman from UConn, Travis Jones. The Jets have a lot of needs on this football team, and I feel like defensive tackle is a bigger one, especially after the loss of Thibodeaux. He ended up signing a multi-year deal with the Jacksonville Jaguars, so let's replace a big run-stuffing defensive tackle from UConn in Thibodeaux with a big run-stuffing defensive tackle from UConn in Travis Jones, okay? He had a great Senior Bowl, a guy that's going to be... teams needed... centers, right? Offensive lines, they will need to double team Travis Jones. Okay, you cannot just put one guy on Jones all game and hope that works, right? He's going to be double teamed, which in turn would open up one-on-one matchups for Quinnen Williams on the inside. This is a big year for Quinnen. Obviously, just put that 5th-year option on him. I'm hoping Quinnen explodes. Let's get a guy that we can plug right next to Quinnen Williams, and also we have Sheldon Rankins behind, in this case, Jones and Quinnen. You know, let's get a guy that can do some of the dirty work, that can help against the run, clog these holes, okay? I really feel like if the Jets don't address defensive tackle, it could be, I know it's not the sexiest position out there. I know it's not, you know, the big name corner, the big name wide receiver, the big name edge rusher, but I feel like it could come back to bite Robert Saleh on this Jets defensive staff if they don't address defensive tackle. We're here in the second round, 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks. We have the luxury of adding a guy with a high floor and a high ceiling. You can maybe make the argument he's better suited for a 3-4, but hey, you know what? Thibodeaux, same kind of deal, and he went out last year and had a pretty productive season for the Jets. So I think for me, it was between Perrion Winfrey or Travis Jones, but I think when it comes to run stuffing ability, I think Jones is maybe a little bit better. Next up, pick 38, linebacker from Georgia, Quay Walker. At 6'3", 240 pounds, Walker plays fast. He knows where to be post-snap. He understands what's happening in front of him, right? He can diagnose what the heck is going on, right? With different offensive plays and everything like that. He doesn't get caught in quicksand. He doesn't get super confused, like where do I need to be, lost in space, anything like that. He, again, is fast, moves well, high defensive IQ. I really picture Quay Walker dropping in as that 4-3 weak side linebacker, a guy that can move sideline to sidelines. He provides speed. I do think Walker is an upgrade over Sherwood and Najrul Dean, but granted, I haven't seen a lot of Sherwood and Najrul Dean in the Saleh system, of course, due to injuries and whatnot, unfortunately, as much as I hate to say it. But I do think Quay Walker right now would give the Jets a better option day one. Also long term, right? I think he also provides a bigger upside than everybody that we currently have on the roster as well. And again, he's a 2nd-round pick here, but he would be coming in as a day one impact starter and upgrade. Next up, at pick number 69 here, safety from Maryland, Nick Cross. At 6 foot, 210, 215 pounds, Nick Cross is the ultimate athlete, okay? A 4.34 40. I know it's kind of a mouthful, but a 4.34 is crazy, right? That is a great number to have in the 40-yard dash. He is not afraid to come downfield. He is not afraid of contact. He will fly down the field and lay people out. Very effective against the run. There has been reports that the Jets are very high on Nick Cross, both the front office and the coaching staff. I also do think it will benefit Cross to have LaMarcus Joyner in the rotation as well. You know, obviously the Jets brought in Whitehead from Tampa Bay. They converted Pinnock from corner to safety at the tail end of last season, so not a ton of experience. And then, of course, Ashton Davis. Don't really feel really confident as, you know, with him as a starter back there, but I think Nick Cross gives the Jets physicality. I think he gives the Jets aggression, a little bit of violence, and I feel like the Jets really need that because at the end of the day, the Jets were the 32nd worst defense in football last year. Horrible. Next up, round 4 here, pick 111, Kingsley Enagbare, edge rusher from South Carolina. At 6 foot 4, 260, he is long, strong, extremely physical at the point of attack. Although he might be a little raw, right? Might not be ready to play immediately, right from day one, but to me that's okay because I really like the ceiling at this point in the draft. He won't be in a position to play right away, right? Again, we have Carl Lawson coming back from injury. In this situation, Kayvon Thibodeaux would be the first pick. So I think that he would essentially take a redshirt year, develop with 2 veterans in front of him in Vinny Curry and Carl Lawson. In the Saleh system, we do know Robert Saleh has a reputation for maximizing talents on the defensive line. He gets production out of, not, I guess, rotational depth pieces, right? He can really bring a lot out of those guys. We saw it with numerous players back in San Francisco. Let's go get a guy in the 4th round here with a big time ceiling that doesn't have to play right away. I think from a developmental standpoint, it does make a lot of sense here. Next up, pick 117 here, Georgia running back Zamir White. A big bruising running back that could take the pressure off of Michael Carter. Okay, he is hard to bring down, very, very difficult. Nobody wants to tackle this guy, okay? Like, if you go in with a half-ass mentality, he will make you pay, okay? He will humiliate defenders, okay? It's happened a lot back at Georgia, but at the same time, you know, he can cut, he can move. People have said that he will fit in a zone style of system, and I could see it. You know, I do think taking pressure off of Michael Carter is important because Carter is such a young back. You know, and I'm looking at the running back room. How does the Jets coaching staff feel about LaMichael Piron and Ty Johnson? I'm not so sure at this point. And then Tevin Coleman's great. He knows the system, was with the team last year, but he's definitely on the decline. Okay, it's not like maybe he finds the fountain of youth. That would be great, but I really feel like it's important to get a guy that can work goal line, get a guy that can work 3rd and short, get a guy who can, you know, you can hand the ball off to in a 3rd and 4 situation. Very hard to bring down. That would come in occasionally. Nice change of pace guy, and not necessarily a completely different runner than Michael Carter, but when you go to try to tackle him, he's completely different. Okay, so I think Zamir White in round 4, you're getting an offensive piece. We have focused a lot around defense in this draft. You're adding Garrett Wilson at wide receiver and Zamir White in round 4. I like the young talent on offense. Next up, round 5, pick 146, I'm going Charlie Kolar, tight end, Iowa State. A big body tight end. He's been my guy for the last couple of seasons. Huge catch radius. He is clutch. He comes down with the money catches, right? That 3rd and 6, that 3rd and 12, that 4th and goal, the ball was always going to Charlie Kolar, and defenses could not stop him. But at the same time, looking at it objectively, it is tough to keep Brock Purdy in the pocket, keep Breece Hall contained. Iowa State did have a lot of weapons last year, Allen as well at tight end. So it wasn't like Charlie was the only option, but what I'm saying is he capitalized. Okay, he maximized every single opportunity he had. Might not be the most athletic guy after the catch, like Isaiah Likely or something like that, or a Kyle Pitts, but he's safe. A security blanket. I love the acquisition, both tight end acquisitions that the Jets made this offseason with Conklin and Uzomah. But Uzomah, he did have the injury. He is a little older. Let's get Charlie Kolar in the building. A young big tight end that can develop maybe a year or two, and then once he's ready to go, Uzomah's on the way out. Okay, so I think Kolar in round 5 is a low risk, high reward style of move. And last but not least, pick 163 in round 5, Romeo Doubs, wide receiver, Nevada. Yes, we added Garrett Wilson at the top of the draft. That is awesome. We have Berrios, he can play. We have Elijah Moore, he can play. The only problem is that all of those guys are sub 6'2", 6'3". Romeo Doubs is a big wide receiver, okay, coming off an extremely productive career at Nevada. Okay, he has the speed, he has the hands. I think Doubs has untapped potential. I mean, you Mountain West football, I love it. You just you get home and there's Mountain West on at 1 a.m. It's crazy. Okay, I watched a lot of Doubs. He had a great connection with Carson Strong, Cole Turner, a guy that we're going to talk about in the next mock draft. You know, for the Jets, he was the tight end. But look, Nevada's offense was rolling last year. Okay, and Doubs was the premier guy. He was the number 1 option, and much like Charlie Kolar, defenses just could not really slow him down. Okay, so I think he provides that height, he provides upside, and although I do like Berrios more and Garrett Wilson better, like just as overall prospects, right, overall wide receivers more than Doubs and Corey Davis as well, Doubs has the height. Okay, now if the Jets want to maybe move off of Denzel Mims, I'm not sure how that situation is looking. Maybe they want to hang on to him. Maybe he comes back and just lights it up. That'd be great. But if not, I could see Dobbs being a late round acquisition here. So that's going to do it for the first mock draft where the Jets don't acquire Deebo Samuel. Let's talk about the other one where we do pull off a trade with the Niners. Okay, so with the 4th overall pick here, I'm going Sauce Gardner. Okay, there has been a ton of buzz surrounding Sauce and the New York Jets. I don't think it's a coincidence that Chris Sims, Daniel Jeremiah, Mel Kiper, Rich Cimini, Matt Miller, Charles Davis, Mike Garafolo have all linked Sauce Gardner to the Jets in the last last 1 to 3 days here. There has been tons of smoke. Sauce Gardner fits the system. He provides cornerback 1 potential. I think he would fit kind of the style or the culture that the Jets want to instill in New York right now, or really Saleh wants to instill. I think you look at his size and how he moves, it's a rare combination. It is a really rare combination. Okay, elite speed, elite quickness at 6'3". Guys like that don't come around too often. Okay, match that with the production, where he, of course, never allowed a touchdown pass in his collegiate career, the multiple INTs every single year in college. I think it makes a lot of sense to go with Sauce at spot number 4. The only downside is that you're not selecting edge. Speaking of edge, let's move on to pick number 10. So 10th overall, we're going Jermaine Johnson, edge rusher from Florida State. A guy with a ton of fire, ton of energy, aggression, size, speed, fits the system, the heartbeat of the Seminoles defense last year. The Noles put so much on his plate. You gotta be the guy. And he delivered. He delivered career season, the best season of his college career. Georgia transfer, comes over to Florida State, chip on his shoulder. Does not disappoint. Wrecks the ACC. Okay, the Jets supposedly love Johnson. Supposedly he's a top 10 lock. I have him going top 10 to the Jets here. We pass on Thibodeaux in this mock draft. A part of that is just to kind of switch things up here, and another part of it is with the amount of love that Sauce Gardner is getting at spot number 4. Maybe there's a chance that KT is there at spot number 10. But in like the simulated mock draft, that isn't really, of course we're only talking Jets picks here, but I had Kayvon Thibodeaux go to the Giants after Sauce went to the Jets at spot number 4, so he was off the board. Jets get their guy in Johnson at spot number 10. I do think it makes a lot of sense. Okay, we talked about it before. I think the one trait that I just love that Johnson brings to the table is the playmaking ability, just stopping the run, right? Those outside handoffs, keeping a quarterback in the pocket, hawking down a mobile quarterback. I love Jermaine Johnson, especially at spot number 10. Okay, so this is where the Deebo Samuel trade comes in. The Jets acquire Deebo. The 49ers acquire the 35th overall pick, 38, 69, and a 2023 second or third round pick just to lock it in, right? Just to make sure it's that extra piece, right? Obviously the 2 seconds and the third this year, that's a sweet haul for, a former second round pick in Deebo, a guy who doesn't want to be in San Francisco any longer. And the 49ers don't have to pay this guy. You're getting 3 picks back this year and a high pick in the following class. And I do feel like the Niners would put a lot of value in that futures pick because they don't have a first round pick next year either because of the Trey Lance trade. I think it works out for both teams in this situation, and the Jets were able to hang on to the 10th overall pick. So Deebo to the Jets. Let's fast forward to round 4. So first up at 111, I'm going Cole Strange, interior offensive lineman from Chattanooga. He played guard for the most part back at Chattanooga, but has potential at center. In fact, coaches are actually really interested in putting Cole Strange at center, and he knocked the Senior Bowl right out of the park. Okay, I'm looking at the Jets right now. I love left guard. I love right guard. AVT, Laken Tomlinson. I feel great about those 2 positions, but center. What is happening at center? Hey, if McGovern is the guy next season, fantastic. But after next year, I don't really, I could be wrong. I could be alone on this one, but I just don't view McGovern as the future center for this team the next 5-10 seasons. I just can't get, I can't get behind that. So if Cole Strange is not ready to go at the center position, that's okay. He has a year to sit. behind Connor McGovern, learn the center position. Not really tons and tons of pressure. He's coming in as a 4th-round pick, with one whole year, one whole training camp, preseason, the entire regular season, the following offseason to get ready to play center for the New York Jets long term. And hey, if he doesn't work out at center, then all of a sudden you have a great backup option at guard. Next up, moving on to round 5 here, speedy wide receiver from Rutgers, Bo Melton. This guy's a gamer. Okay, he helps out on special teams. He's good with the football in his hands, the short passing game. I really like Bo Melton, and I think he's a solid fit for the Mike LaFleur, Kyle Shanahan type of offense here. And of course, you are getting a guy like this in round 5, so you're not putting tons of expectations. Oh, you need to go get 1,000-yard season or anything like that. I look at the Jets wide receiving room. Again, if the Jets maybe want to move off of Denzel Mims, and of course Corey Davis is on that big deal. If he has a pretty disappointing season, I definitely want to have some young talent in this room, and in this situation we would have Deebo Samuel in the building, so the height would be a little bit of a concern. Again, Moore, Berrios, Deebo, and now Bo Melton, not that much size to go around. But when I watch Bo Melton at Rutgers, this guy can play. Okay, he is a true ball player. I really think that he could benefit this Jets team, maybe not immediately, but in the following couple of years. And last but not least, Cole Turner, tight end from Nevada, 6'6", 240 pounds. This is a big tight end who can move well in space. He was a big part of the Wolfpack passing offense, not just last year, but the previous 2 seasons. Last year, he had 10 touchdowns. The season before that, he had 9. This guy, maybe I'm really high on Cole Turner, but I think round 5, although it is kind of projected where he's supposed to go, I think it's really good value. I do. I love Turner's upside. There's just something about big tight ends that are effective in the passing game and that can move like wide receivers. I just feel like there's always a place for those guys. And maybe it's because I watched the Jets just fail last year numerous times at the tight end position. We just didn't have the talent. We didn't have the depth, that I want to make sure that we do have that depth. We do have that upside moving forward. So anyway, let me know your thoughts on both mock drafts. Of course, and we've talked a lot about this on this channel, whether the Jets go Kayvon, Thibodeaux, Jermaine Johnson, O-line, Sauce Gardner, whatever we do, we will be walking away from that weekend, right? Sunday, Monday, as a much better football team. Trade for Debo. Don't trade for Debo. Hang on to the picks. Address offense. Address defense. We have a lot of holes on this football team. No matter what happens, the Jets will be so much better moving forward, assuming everybody's healthy and everything like that. So that's the bright side. That's the silver lining. That's the thing that I'm really encouraged about moving forward. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. I know this was a longer video, but I said to myself, you know what? It's the last time we can talk about mock drafts for a year. I'm hoping a year. So anyway, thanks so much. And as always, let me know your thoughts and go Jets.